Favi, we got the quarterfinals of Leagues Cup starting on Wednesday. All four matches on the same night. We got a lot to talk about. But before we do, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good. I mean, you and me, man, we're in the thick of things. Literally quarterfinals of Leagues Cup, the end of the regular season coming up, and then it's gonna be playoffs, and the grind does not stop for us. And then we got the World Cup year next year, right? So, interesting stuff. A little tiring, but we're here. We're doing everything.
Yo, are we forming the Leagues Cup Dream Team or?
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. So let's talk about Leagues Cup because you haven't been on to talk about this specifically since the tournament started. We did a prediction video, which we're going to do for the quarterfinals as well, and even give our updated predicted champion, right? So what's your thoughts of the Leagues Cup this year? Like the format. I remember when me and you were trying to do our preview video, we were like, man, this format's a little confusing. Like, how's it
Yeah.
work and stuff? But now we've seen it in action. We know how it works. What's your thoughts on the new format in Leagues Cup? Hey, if you're enjoying the video, make sure you give it a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. With your help, I know we will reach that goal. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of our videos. Now, back to the video.
This is tough because I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, I really enjoyed how important the games were. It was almost like, how you and me are both NFL fans. Any given Sunday, it's an important game. I mean, you don't have any room to make a mistake. You can, miss the playoffs by just one game. And honestly, this felt like that. I mean, soccer kind of has a bad rap where there's so many tournaments, there's so many games. Like, is this even a big game? Like, what's the point of me watching this game? But for this tournament, for Leagues Cup, it seemed like you better be watching the first game, and if your team won the first game, now it's time to go full force into supporting your team in game 2 and 3. Um, I personally thought this was a big, big change from last year. Last year, it felt like, well, why are we playing DC United versus Atlanta, right? So I really appreciated the Liga MX and MLS only. I thought that was fun. But the attendance I thought didn't do as well as I expected it to. And Will, I think you can say that too because you watched almost all the games, all the big games. But at least the actual soccer, I thought it was more exciting for sure.
Yeah, I like the format a lot better because, like you said, watching two teams that play all the time anyway, well, I don't want to see them in another tournament. And it is really cool that it was just Liga MX versus MLS the entire time. That was
Yeah.
really cool. That's like, there's still going to be, including myself, people who would like to see the tournament hosted in Mexico. And there's
Mhm.
going to be an asterisk about quality of the leagues. You can't really say one league. You can't say MLS is better if they win this because they won this tournament because of where it's being played at. But this, from an entertainment standpoint, is more fun to watch, a lot cooler. It just felt like I didn't have fatigue afterwards.
Yeah.
The 2024 Leagues Cup, which is very forgettable, you kind of just got lost in it. Like you're just like, man, this just feels like what the hell's even going on? Who's playing? Like you lose track, you get kind of bored. I mean, I can't even like the Crew won it last year against LAFC. I can't even tell you how they got there. I don't
Yeah.
remember the path of how they got there, to be honest with you.
That's true. That's true.
Um, so very forgettable. This is cool because we know Liga MX played MLS the whole entire time, which is awesome. So yeah, I love the new format. I think it's cool. I still don't like that it's every year because I feel like we don't get a chance to miss it.
Yeah.
Which I think it would be more popular if we at least did it every other year.
Yeah.
But I liked it, man. I thought it was cool. I mean, we still got some more games to go, but it has been a success for me so far.
And I thought it was excuse me, it's a success now because now there's really only what, 4 teams from each league in it, right? So you don't have to really stop the other leagues too, which I think is kind of smart if you really think about it. You're not putting too much strain on the other leagues. You can still have them go. What I really enjoyed though was we got regular Leagues Cup matches, like not even knockout stage matches, where people are making memes of them. I mean, Seattle Sounders beat Cruz Azul 7-0, and that was a huge win. That was a huge game. and people are still talking about that, right? And that's just a regular Leagues Cup game. So with that game alone, I think they did a great job with making the phase one matter because you get a memorable game, you get a game that people are talking about, and you also get moments like if the Seattle Sounders go on and win, now we know and we remember how they got there, and it's not going to be like the 2024 Leagues Cup run of the Columbus Crew where I can't tell you what Liga MX teams they beat, right? Like you're
I
right.
have no clue. No
And I
clue.
and I worked for the tournament, and I can't remember, right? So, no, this is definitely going to be a fun knockout stage. I thought phase one was definitely better than last year. I think the trimming of the fat was good too. Also, one thing I would say they need to change is having the games on 3 different days. I thought that was a bit unfair for the teams that played on the first game or the first day. It should just be 2 different days instead of three. And yes, that might be tough to do, but I think there's a way they can get all the games being played on just 2 days instead of three. So that's a little bit more fair. But little things like that, like I didn't hear too much word about the travel. I didn't hear too much word about like teams not wanting it this year. I mean, look at Club Puebla; they almost made it, right? Like this was an opportunity for Puebla to make a Concacaf Champions Cup, right? So there were teams that were really taking this seriously. Like Necaxa almost made it, right?
Well,
So
Puebla did make it. They play
oh, excuse me.
Seattle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Puebla did
yeah,
make it, right? There was
yeah.
word that Necaxa dropped out because of their performance in the third game, and a team like Puebla made it to the knockout round, which is crazy to think about.
No, I agree. And one thing though, which we will talk more about when in our prediction, but one thing that I don't like is that Toluca is the home team against Orlando City, or was it? No, it's I think LA, maybe it's the LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy are a lower, there's a team that's a lower seeded team, yet they're playing in LA. I can't
Yeah, the
remember who it
Galaxy.
is.
It's the
So the
Galaxy
Galaxy,
because they're the Galaxy are the MLS Cup winners, so they're hosting, and then
yeah,
Inter
that's what it
Miami is the
was.
Supporter Shield winner, so they're hosting. So the seeding doesn't really matter in the knockout stages.
Yeah.
It's more like who you're just gonna play, I would say.
Yeah, because I think Toluca's playing Orlando City in LA though.
Yeah,
I
because they
think.
chose LA as their home stadium. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, so that's interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to this. Let's go ahead and bring up the bracket, okay? We'll start off with the first matchup. We have Toluca versus Orlando City. Now, a lot of people thought Toluca was going to be maybe the favorite
yeah,
of the League's Cup, right? Now, they're currently in the first part, the Apertura season. I think it's the Apertura right now. I always get them
yeah,
confused.
correct.
Of the Liga MX. Toluca is in fifth place right now. Okay. So Toluca is a very good team, and they're playing Orlando City, a team that's kind of hot right now, honestly. They beat Miami 4-1 last week, and they advanced in the Leagues Cup. They made the Final Four. I don't think me or you picked them to do that. So, who do you have winning this first matchup between Toluca and Orlando City SC?
Yeah, look, this quarterfinals matchup for any of the 8 teams that are left is so important because no matter what your outcome is in the semifinal, you will get a chance to qualify for the Champions Cup in the third place game. So it's literally win this match and you have a chance to qualify for the CONCACAF Champions Cup, which is actually so insane. I think Toluca is putting all the eggs in this basket to qualify for the Champions Cup here, and I think they're going to be able to get the job done in front of a home fan base because Toluca is going to have everybody. I mean, everybody from their stadium travel up to Los Angeles, which is a close border city, and it's going to have tons of Latin fans, tons of Mexican American fans just cheering them on because they want to see a Liga MX team win. So great decision on making LA your home stadium because you can't get much better than that. So I think Toluca gets the job done. Orlando City's a great team, but they play so much better at home. They're going to have a hard time traveling across the country to play one of the best teams in this tournament and in Liga MX. Yeah, I have Toluca going through it in this round.
Yeah, I think Martin Ojeda has been really good for Orlando City. Very, very good this season. I think Paslich has been very good. Obviously, Galese is a very good goalkeeper, has been since he's been at Orlando City. I even think Luis Muriel has started to come around a little
Yeah,
bit,
he's
right?
hot right now. He's
He's
hot.
hot right now. He's very hot right now. Fine. It's better late than never. But Toluca, I think, is gonna have the advantage. They're gonna have more fans.
Yeah,
Orlando City's have to travel from coast to coast,
right.
right? That's tough. If Orlando City was hosting this match, then I think they could. I think they probably would. There'd be a very good chance they'd win this game.
Yeah,
But it's going to be difficult to travel from Orlando, Florida to Los Angeles. And that travel's brutal in 3 days. I think it's just going to be a hard match, and it's nothing about quality. They might shock us, but I agree. I think it's going to be Toluca in game one. I just think the Toluca's going to have an advantage with that home crowd.
yeah, and I think Toluca chose Los Angeles to be as far away as possible and to make it even harder for them because they're in the middle of the season. They're going to be traveling, and then they have to travel to LA for this midweek game. Yeah, this is going to be tough.
Okay, moving up to our next matchup. Who between these two teams will face? One of these two teams will face Toluca. Got Inter Miami versus Tigres. Now, I would say that this is probably the most exciting matchup that we've seen this tournament thus far. And I'm
Yeah,
talking about the seeding phase, and and especially I think in this quarterfinals phase. Two of the biggest heavyweights, arguably the two best teams in the tournament, right?
right, right.
And you're getting them in the quarterfinals, which is a little disappointing, but it's just the way the seeding worked. I think Inter Miami will win this game if Messi is healthy. Now, the game last night, he had a goal and an assist, but he was holding his hamstring quite a bit. So a lot of people think he might have re-aggravated that abductor injury or that hamstring injury, and that he might not even play in this game. There's a chance. But I was going to say, if Messi does play, I think they have a chance. But man, this is a tough one for me. Like, I'm literally splitting down the line, Fabi, because Tigres is good. Like, I think Tigres might be the best team in North America, and Angel Correa has been an absolute dog for this team.
Yeah, no, he's, in my opinion, I think he might be one of the best players of the tournament. I think he might even win the Leagues Cup Golden Ball or the little DNA trophy that they gave Messi that one time. But no, yeah, I think Tigres is a crazy team. I went to this matchup last year in Houston, and it was with no Messi, and Tigres ended up winning. I think I'm on the same boat as you. If Messi doesn't play again, like he didn't play last year in Leagues Cup versus Tigres, I think Tigres is going to get the win here. And then I think if he does play, Miami just is going to get that edge because one, they have Messi, one of the best players in the world, still playing, and then two, they're at home, which is completely different with Miami. When Miami's at home, for some reason, something's in that mate. They always get the job done, and they get the job done with a lot of goals. So no, this is the best matchup we could have asked for. You're exactly right. This is unfortunate that it's in a quarterfinals, but I have the honor to cover this game for Leagues Cup, so I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great matchup. But Tigres just lost 3-1 to Club America in Liga MX. So they might be going through a little fluke, but they just beat Club Puebla 7-0. So it's like Jekyll and Hyde. And the same thing goes for Miami. Miami lost to Orlando in embarrassing fashion, and then they beat the LA Galaxy 3-1. So this could be a high scoring game, and it could be a fun one. Messi leaving real fast yesterday was a weird thing to see. He left the pitch almost right as the whistle was being blown, and then he left to go home right away. So that was kind of interesting. And we'll see what happens with Messi, but hopefully he can be healthy because they're going to need him. But you make the decision on this guy.
So I think it's going to be Miami, but because I think Messi is going to play. If he doesn't, then they'll probably lose. But I was going to say too that even though both of these teams are very, very good, I don't think it's going to be close. I think that whoever wins this game will win it decisively. Like
Mhm.
if Miami plays really well, like if Miami's the winner, they're going to win probably 3-1. If
Yeah.
Tigres wins, they might win 4-1. That I just don't think it's going to be a back and forth 2-2 penalty decides the winner of this game. I think it's going to be one way or the other. But both these teams are very good. But I'm going to give the edge to Inter Miami, especially because they're playing at home. Think
Yeah.
you cannot underestimate that. Okay, so moving on to the next matchup, we have Seattle Sounders versus Puebla. Seattle Sounders probably been the hottest team in the tournament. They beat Cruz Azul 7-0 in the first match, which really had everybody's eyebrows raised, thinking, holy hell, who is this team? Want to say real quick, because this is your pick. I think that the Club World Cup, playing against Atletico Madrid, playing against PSG, playing against Botafogo, when you play against teams like those, then you play some Liga MX teams, it kind of is like, okay, we fought bigger giants in this. We fought tougher teams in this. This is a cakewalk. And I think that that honestly is what prepared them to have such a good tournament in Leagues Cup.
Yeah, man. I mean, Seattle's been playing at a different level ever since the Club World Cup, which is so wild to even think about. Pedro de la Vega woke up. Craig Wable not making any sort of transfers in the transfer window is finally okay because they're actually playing at such a high level that they maybe don't need anybody right now. But because also their players that they thought were bust are waking up. I mean, Jordan Morris has been out with injury, and that maybe is a blessing in disguise because this team is a completely different team now. This is a team that is firing on all cylinders. And you're getting minutes and you're getting goals from guys you did not expect when you were looking at Leagues Cup and thinking, oh, Seattle's going to be in it. So I'm going to have Seattle winning 3-0 in this one. I think Seattle is just going to run havoc with Puebla. I think Puebla's had a great run, a very honorable one. But I think Seattle is a very big favorite in this, especially going up against possibly the worst Liga MX team left.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think Puebla's Leagues Cup run is an outlier. They're like 17th place in Liga MX right now. I don't think they're a very good team, and plus it's at Seattle. It's a long distance. And look, I know I keep mentioning distance, but I think it matters. I think when a team has to travel that far, obviously the home team's gonna have some sort of advantage. So
Especially midweek, too.
especially midweek, right? So I have Seattle winning this as well. I don't know if I'm as bullish as you 3-0, but I think like maybe a 2-0 win, maybe 2-1. Either way, they're going to get the job done. Seattle Sounders make an incredible run and make it to the semifinals of Leagues Cup. Okay, next matchup, LA Galaxy versus Pachuca. Now, the LA Galaxy are the defending MLS Cup champions, okay? They had all this talent. Now, obviously, they lost Ricky Puig, and that has been detrimental to this team. But in Leagues Cup, they have been a different club, right? You were one of the very few who predicted they would make it to the quarterfinals. Thought you were crazy, but here we
Yeah.
are. Here we are. They have made it to the quarterfinals of Leagues Cup. Now, if this was an MLS tournament, I think they'd be in trouble. It's like literally two different teams. It's like when they play a Leagues Cup match, they have the Leagues Cup patch on their jersey. It's like
Right.
a switch is flipped. Whole different team. So
They didn't do so bad in CONCACAF either. So I think their bread and butter is playing against Liga MX teams, and I think they showed it here. They don't really need Puig before, but maybe they're going to need him now, right?
yeah, um, I still think they're. I don't think Puig is. I don't even know if he's going to play this year. Honestly, I thought a lot of people. And here's the thing: the one thing I will say is one of your predictions on why they would make it was because you thought Puig was going to play in Leagues Cup and he didn't.
Yeah.
So have to share that as well. But either way, they made it. I think this is where their luck runs out. Okay, they just lost to Miami 3-1. They are playing at home, but they are playing the best team currently in Liga MX and Pachuca. They're number one in this. They're number one in the standings right now. Pachuca is a very good team. They won the 2024 CONCACAF Champions Cup against the Crew. I think they're going to get. I think they're going to lose. I think I don't want to call it a historic because I don't think it's historic, but their run of luck is going to be out.
The Cinderella story is
The
over.
Cinderella story the book has closed, right? We're in the final chapter. I think they're going to lose this game.
That would have great Danny throws a screwball and just puts Ricky Puig in the lineup.
Then they're definitely going to lose because he's not ready.
Or like on the bench.
I still don't think they can. He's still not ready. I just don't think he's ready. I think that if he was healthy, then all bets are off. I think the Galaxy are going to lose this game. I don't know, maybe 2-0 or something. Their defense is really bad. Their defense is horrible. It's been horrible the last couple of years. They just were lucky enough to have a good run at the end of last year. But I think Pachuca wins this game pretty handily. I think the Galaxy, but hey, look, Galaxy fans, not a bad showing.
Yeah.
Considering everything, right? Do you disagree with that? Do you think Galaxy's magic continues, or do you think Pachuca is going to end that story?
You know what? I think this is their MLS Cup. And I think they might be thinking if we get one more win, we have a chance at qualifying for the next CONCACAF Champions Cup. So this is going to be the most important game in the Galaxy season. This is a tough one. I think they're going to lose, but I think they lose on penalties. I think they
Okay.
lose in a scrappy game.
So you're not as you're I'm a little more bullish than you. I think it's gonna be like 2-0. You think it's gonna go down to the wire.
Like 2-2, and then Ricky Puig gets subbed on and makes the last penalty. Just for a penalty, right?
Be crazy. Okay, so here's our final four, our semifinals. We have Toluca versus Miami, Seattle versus Pachuca. Now I'm not sure how this is gonna work with the
I can tell you right now, it would be Miami hosting for sure on this side. And
really.
yeah, Miami hosts if the Galaxy lose, Miami hosts through it. Um, and
That's
then
crazy.
yeah, on this side, if I'm not mistaken,
Seattle will definitely host because they finished the top of the
it yeah, they did finish at the top of the Western Conference. So okay, yeah, so then Seattle would host.
they finished the top of everything. Like I think they're the only team to win every game in the entire thing.
Oh,
Seattle
that doesn't actually matter in terms of like seating for
hosting
the game.
seating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it matters their season record of the last year.
Okay. So Miami versus Toluca. It's going to be at Miami, according to that's
Yeah,
that's what how it's going to work out. Um, if Miami beat Tigres, I think they're coasting the rest of the tournament. I think
that's a
they're
fair
coasting the rest
assessment.
of the tournament. I don't think Toluca is as good as Tigres, and I don't think Toluca is going to do as well considering they're playing their game on Wednesday in Los Angeles, and now they're going to have to go back to Mexico, and then they're going to have to travel to Miami. Just a lot of travel. Miami's getting to stay home. I think Miami is going to win this, and like I said, I think Miami's going to win a lot easier than they did against Tigres. Or I think that this is going, like I said, that's going to be their toughest challenge. So they're going to coast by. But I think Miami's going to win, man. I just think Messi's healthy. This team is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, 100%. I think if Messi's gonna be available and if Messi's there, they already beat Tigres, the hardest team to beat. I think they're gonna coast against Toluca, and Toluca has to go from LA, Mexico to Miami. That's gonna be tough.
I agree. Okay, so Seattle versus Pachuca.
This is a tough one because as much as I would love to see Seattle, keep their Cinderella story alive, I think Pachuca is a different animal. I think Pachuca is still the Pachuca that is the Achilles heel for many MLS teams. I think this is where Seattle's luck may run out, and I think Pachuca will go through. I think we're going to get a final of Miami versus Pachuca for sure.
Well, I also want to say something too that Seattle doesn't necessarily have to win it because getting to that third place game still
Exactly.
gets them essentially the same thing they've been chasing, which is an appearance in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. But I do agree with you. I don't think Seattle don't have a striker. Musovski just isn't good enough, in my opinion, even though he's been playing well. They just don't have the scoring, the attackers to compete with Pachuca, in my opinion. Pachuca's a good team right now, very good team. So I agree with you. I think that they had a good run, but they are going to lose to, or they're going to, the Seattle Sounders are going to lose to Pachuca. So before we get to the final, I'm going to let you pick this one. Third place game to get that third spot in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, Toluca versus Seattle. And by the way, before you make that pick, I want to point this out. If this is the final that we get, this will be the first time that a Liga MX team has gotten a CONCACAF Champions Cup spot from Leagues Cup.
Oh yeah.
Guaranteed.
And that's the funniest part about it is I think Pachuca might even get it from the Liga MX this year because they're playing so well. No, I think this one is going to be Seattle's going to see this opportunity to qualify for the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and I think this is going to be a very scrappy win. And if I'm not mistaken, this would be in LA because Toluca actually is above Seattle in terms of ranking. So I think Seattle gets the job done even in the house of Toluca. I think this is going to be another Colorado Rapids upset where we get an MLS team getting an extra CONCACAF Champions Cup slot.
I disagree on this. I think if Seattle's playing at home, they would win this game. But I think with Toluca hosting, they would lose.
Mm,
Seattle's terrible on the road. I don't know how many games they've won on the road, but it's not very many. Like they have essentially all success they've had this season has been at home. So, and they played every game in the Leagues Cup at home. They played every game at the Club World Cup at home.
mm.
So they haven't been a good road team. But this is your pick. So we will go with Toluca. Or excuse me, Seattle Sounders.
Well, I
All
was
right.
gonna say, I was like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. You have to rig it. You know, we're going to Luca. No. Okay. So final, Bobby, Miami versus Pachuca. A good final. That's what I listen. I didn't care who it was. I just wanted to see. Maybe I cared a little bit who it was, to be honest with you. But I just wanted to see a Liga MX and MLS final.
Yeah, and the way we chose this whole bracket, it was Liga MX versus MLS the whole way. So that's going to be a fun run if that's the way it's going to turn out for sure.
I agree. So I said this earlier. I'm gonna say it again. Now, before this tournament started, I said I thought it would be a good thing if Liga MX won this because it would give the tournament some credibility. If MLS just wins it every time, it just feels like a charity case for Major League Soccer to get more CONCACAF Champions Cup spots, right? And they still don't win. But that's another discussion. Um, but I think Miami is just really good this year, and especially they've been good in this tournament. They're lucky in this tournament. The two of their wins have been very lucky, but
Right.
sometimes luck is what you need. And I think that, and I've said this the previous two prediction matchups for Miami, that if Messi is healthy, they will win. And Messi's the first person in the a part of the first team to ever win this trophy, and in the original format. And now it's a different format. Maybe he'll be the first to win this as well. I think Miami's going to win, but I think this is going to be an instant classic, and it's going to be on penalties. I think
That's
Miami's going to win on penalties.
That's fair. In my opinion, I think Miami is with the roster that they have, it's multiple championships or bust. It's not just one anymore. At this point, you have to just get the trophy cabinet filled. If that's 2 Leagues Cup trophies, okay, so be it. But you definitely need to have multiple trophies this season. There's no way you have Rodrigo de Paul, Busquets, Alba, Suarez, Messi, and you don't have multiple trophies. So I think this is going to be a case of Miami wanting it more. I know it's so cliche, but this is a definite case where Miami needs this trophy more than Pachuca, in my opinion. So I
I
agree.
agree. So we have Inter Miami. Okay, I guess it blocked out this. Wants me to fill out some paperwork or my email address, but I'm not doing that. Okay, so
Yeah,
we
MLS
have
can't have your email. They
say
can't have
what?
it. MLS is not allowed to have your email.
No way, no way. So we have Inter Miami winning the Leagues Cup, and I'm sure we'll do another preview for the semifinals. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You'll have to let us know. Do you agree with our picks? Do you disagree? Who do you guys have winning the Leagues Cup in 2025? Let us know in the comment section down below. Bobby, where can the listeners follow, the viewers find you, follow you to see your coverage of Leagues Cup, Major League Soccer, and everything that you're doing, my friend?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can find me at leaguescup.com. I mean, my writing is going to be there for the quarterfinals. I'm covering the Miami Tigres game. Urban Pitch, I have a couple of interviews. I have about 3 coming out. So interesting stuff coming from me. So thank you for having me on, Will.
I appreciate it, my friend. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.